It seems to me like the latest trend sweeping the nation
Shit, I got fucking Pidgey! What the fuck?
is the "What kind of Pokemon are you" Instagram filter. It's an augmented reality filter, seems like quite the meme, and as an aspiring meme lord myself, I'd like to know not just how to use it, but also how to build it, because it seems to incorporate some pretty simple programming concepts. There's like loop, array type deal, Boolean values, a switch, and I think it's a great way to learn programming because it's all done in visual programming using Spark AR, which was developed by Facebook for Instagram and Facebook to create those filters. But before we get into it, I gotta put on my thinking cap. All right, I'm ready. First thing we want to do is open an untitled file. It doesn't have to follow any of the templates on the Spark AR menu screen. And we want to add a face tracker. And then we want to import however many Pokemon we want. I downloaded these images as PNGs off the internet. And now we need a corresponding plane to move each of these visuals. So there are 4 visuals, which means we want to add a plane to the face tracker. These are like child nodes to the parent node, and that's where the image is going to show up, but that's not really on top of the head, so we can drag it and move it on top of the head. All right. And then we want to Control-C, Control-V the plane 3 more times because there are 4 images, and we want to label them according to each of the textures. So let's go Diglett, Eevee, Start Card, and Mewtwo. So we need an object that the texture will wrap around that will travel on each of these planes. So for each of the planes, we want to add a new material. I'm not going to label this just for time's sake, but we want to apply each of the textures accordingly. So we go to the Eevee plane, create new material, click on the new material, and then apply the Eevee texture. It's kind of a tedious process depending on however many Pokemon you want. Mewtwo, new material, Mewtwo. Perfect. So now we see that the visuals are on top of the guy's head, so we want to do some visual coding. We want to go to View, Show/Hide Patch Editor. First thing we want to do is the action of the images, which would be a randomizing action. So let's try random. Let's put a random block down. Add patch. The end value is going to be however many Pokemon you want randomized. So without the start card, we have 3 images. So 0 to 2, 0, 1, 2 is 3. And then we want to create a round. This is going to be our loop that will then correspond to a number that will correspond to an image. So we want to Control-C and Control-V this however many times we have Pokemon to loop. And then we want to connect value to each of the rounds. All right, so now we want to create kind of an index, so we assign a number to each of the images. And to do that, we can lay down an equals exactly block, add patch. And the bottom number will correspond to each of the index numbers that we already determined through the start and the end values. So we want to Control-C equals exactly, Control-V, Control-V. So 0, 1, 2. And then we want to connect the rounds to the round number on top. And now each of the images has to correspond to one of these numbers. So we want to click on the plane and then make each of the planes visible. Connect. Eevee. Connect. And last but not least, our legendary Mewtwo. Connect. Perfect. Okay, so there's no loop right now, but we want to add that so it animates. So we're going to add, it's called a loop animation. We're going to add that patch and then drag the loop to the randomize. And now it should be looping. We should probably not make the start card visible for the time being. So now you can see the Pokemon are looping. The loop animation speed is from 0 to 1, and the smaller the number, the faster it will be. So we can try 0.6, for example. That's a bit faster. Or 0.06, which will then make it a bit more fast. Let's try like a 0.04. All right. Now we want to add the start card. So we want to create a function. So when the screen is tapped, because it's easier to simulate in this software, when the screen is tapped, it'll show this randomize function. But for the time being, before that, there has to be a start card that we designed. So let's add an interaction block. Let's add, it's called screen tap. All right, so we added the interaction block. It's a screen tap hatch. You can click on this window to simulate touch and tap to enable this loop animation to happen. So we want to drag the tap to the enable. And now the animation will only turn on if we tap the screen. There it is. Okay, but we still want the start card to show, so we're going to duplicate the switch. We're going to just add another switch. And this will give another pathway for the game to go. So this is the start card pathway, and this is the randomized pathway. And then we want to add a Boolean value of not. So when the screen tap doesn't activate the switch, then it will go directly to the start menu. And we have our start card visible. We want to check it, then connect not to the start card. And now when we screen tap, it should randomize on top of the head. There we go. And then we can reset. We're going to see the start card, screen tap, randomize the Pokemon. All right, you got Eevee. It's a pretty simple concept. Hopefully now you can apply it to your own image randomizers. Just remember to duplicate the planes according to however many characters you would like to randomize, and then attach the materials and adhere the textures accordingly, and you should be good. So I've seen people create like, what Pixar character are you? I created a movie poster one, and when you want to export to see how this will look on camera, because it's developed by Facebook, you can test on device and you can send it to the Facebook camera and it will show you. This is what the final product should look like, and I'm going to tap on the screen and hopefully I get... that's cute. So this is one of my first projects in Spark AR, and I'd like to explore it a bit more. So if you have any other project ideas that you'd like to see me tackle / mumble along to, I'd be happy to do so. But in the meantime, Pokemon, go make your own!